Puedes apagar la cámara, el ordenador o lo que te dé la gana, pero recuerda, eres tú el que tenía tantas ganas de verme.
Hay una cosa que amo de esta película, como no puedo amar de ninguna otra película que haya hecho antes, y es que sea a la vez mi película como de vocación más comercial, más disfrutable por un público amplio, por decirlo así, y a la vez es la más experimental y la más extraña.
Hola. ¿Qué es lo que quieres? Haz lo que yo te diga y todo saldrá bien.
Yeah, I recommend it. It's exciting and it's unlike anything I've seen, certainly ever worked on before. I think that the conceit of the film is that the entire film takes place on a computer screen, so that in and of itself is incredibly unique structurally. And at the heart of the story, it's a thriller. It's a really exciting thriller that sort of starts almost immediately. There's really very little breath that you can take in the film. It kind of doesn't stop until the end. So it's very exciting. Yeah, there are people I admire. There's work that I admire. I think when I was younger, you know, I followed bands when I was younger, and I was kind of more obsessive. Not really obsessive, but I was really keen on certain bands and even like certain actresses I really loved because I was in love with them. But I don't know, I wouldn't have done anything beyond like write a letter, you know, which I think I wrote a letter and never sent it to like, I don't know, Billy Corgan of the Pumpkins or something like that, you know, but I never, I didn't even do that. So no, I can't really relate to being fanatical about something. It's not something I understand. I certainly understand excitement and enthusiasm for art and artists and all of those things, but I don't know, it doesn't go beyond just appreciating what they do.
Solamente tengo que pulsar un botón. Hará todo lo que tú le pidas, Nick.
¿Qué quieres de mí?
It's all kind of strange, isn't it? I don't think there was any one request that he made that made me feel uncomfortable that I didn't want to do. I know the scene where Jill had to get undressed on the computer was one we spoke about a lot because there's so much going on, and I didn't want it to just be taking my shirt off, here's what's happening. And so we really spoke about the reasoning behind it and the fact that she is vulnerable physically and literally. She is afraid, but she's also very used to being in front of the camera, so she's very self-aware, which is what allows her to sort of search for her cell phone off camera and try and dial the police. So that was probably one of the more intimidating things for me. And the scene where I was locked up in the trunk was also very strange, just the way it was filmed. There was, I think, 16 cameras shooting that one scene.
For me, the most complicated days on the film, it wasn't anything that Nacho asked me to do that was, you know, crazy or difficult. The nature of the shooting itself was just complicated, highly technical, and without the reliance on being able to interact with each other. Yeah. You know, most of our interaction happened via looking at a camera lens, pretending that you're talking to the person on the other end. The hardest days for me were we shot all of the car driving sequence, which is, man, I think it's a third or more of the film, where Nick drives from the hotel to the warehouse at the end of the film. All of the scenes that take place in the car, we shot in 3 days in a small stage in Austin, Texas. And it was just the sheer volume of work was so intense. My whole interaction with you while you're having that moment of vulnerability, all of that.
Yo creo que el visionado de la película sea una experiencia, que sea una fiesta, que sea como un gran juguete, ¿no?, con el que jugar. Es una película que nunca frena, no para, en el sentido de que cada 20 minutos se está intentando como renovarse, convertirse en otro tipo de película, ir creciendo. No es una película que en un momento dado frene y reconsidere la situación, sino que no deja de avanzar. Y en ese sentido yo quiero que el público tenga una relación muy viva con la película, que incluso cuestione la propia película, ¿no?, que se enfrente a ella, que incluso no gustándole encuentre motivos para discusión. Y quiero que haya espectadores que la vean como un divertimento, como un thriller sin más, y luego también estoy abierto a que haya gente que intente entrever realmente qué estoy contando con esta película.